Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 55 of Thessia, our Australian-inspired build. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I've just left a YouTuber exhibition at the brand new Expo Centre we built last week. Here is Biffa. he was also in attendance, and look, there's City Planner players as well. Wonderful. So we have a lot of fun last week over here, and a great suggestion from All Cats as well about naming it the Expo Centre. Pretty perfect, wasn't it? Great name. And a very much welcome addition into the downtown space, wasn't it? And we'll definitely spend some time over here. However, given the fact we have been away from Broker for a little while, today's episode we are going to head back to what is possibly the furthest town from the CBD, is it? Oh no, I guess Ardat Yakshi would be over there, wouldn't it? That's the furthest town. But Broker is very much unfinished. Of course, we left this to go build an airport. We needed a little bit of a distraction. But we are back in Broker today, and I want to work on this side of the town. So of course this town is inspired by Boulder, where the super pit lies in Western Australia, and as you're kind of driving along what would be the arterial into town, there's a lot of very dusty industry, scrap yards, fabrication kind of companies, lots of dust and grime, and chain link fencing is the vibe. So as people are driving into Broker over here, I would like them to pass by that vibe, just so they kind of raise their eyebrow and curl their lip as they drive past it. They're like, do we really want to stop here? Shouldn't we just carry on to Sentinel, because Sentinel is gorgeous. So that's what we'll get started with today. I also want to design a few more schools, because we have some gaps in the education system. So why don't we start with a school, shall we? Alright, let's give ourselves a nice big plot to work with. We'll start over here. And we'll rip out this little road here, and then we can use this big frame. So let's give them. I mean, we do already have a sports field here, don't we? We do have the Australian football oval over this way, which we'll keep in, but we'll definitely throw in another sports field over here. So let's dive into the wonderful world of Bad Peanut, and we'll grab a. Wouldn't mind the community soccer one. We haven't really used that in Thessia, have we? But it's a little big, maybe, isn't it? We'll just go with car park in there. I can probably appreciate that. Yeah, okay, let's go with that then. Let's then look at our school buildings. So I think we'll just stick with the regular elementaries. So I'd like to design them a little bit of a road. Let's come ahead and grab some parking lot service, because we'll pretty much have this through the whole complex, I imagine. And then let's do... Actually, no, let's do some of the poorly maintained parking road. I think we'll use this instead. So they're going to drive on the darker side of the road. I always think that's the right configuration. Let's also narrow this node as well. I'd rather have that sharper corner on it. And then we can use this road to hold our schools. Make sure they're also set to the same height as well. I think there is a very slight kind of slope that runs through Broker. Yeah, so I think we'll have that there. That's not too bad at all. There's definitely need for more elementary though, so I wouldn't mind doing a possible fusing of these assets together. And how about we have that there, and then I'd actually be happy to extend another little road that passes through the campus maybe, and then possibly some more parking up against the edge of the football pitch here. And I'd like that to line up with that road guideline heading into there, I think. And then we can generate some more parking here. Let's also just adjust those nodes with node controller. Yeah, and then around here we can get some more playgrounds and whatnot. I definitely actually would like a small playground in here too. But let's do that while we remember. We'll have a small playground here, and then there's lots of detailing to be had around here during the talents, and then we'll get some more, expand the playgrounds and whatnot. You may also remember we downloaded a few of these portable classrooms for a build. I think it was in Valkyrie, wasn't it? One of the first towns we ever did. And I wouldn't mind having a few of these knocking about. They become disconnected about there. We'll just make them part of the grounds, because I do believe, quite similar to English schools actually, the schools tend to be a collection of buildings rather than just one singular building, like, if you like. If that makes sense. Cool. So we can use that as our big school block, and we can get this surrounded by housing. We do also have high school demand, but I think we'll put that maybe further over here. But for right now, we can use this big block here as a school campus. So now let's turn our attention toward a lot of this dusty industry that's going to lie over here. So certainly think a dirt road is in order. Now, how do we think we want these aligned? I definitely like the rail passing over them. I think that would give us a slightly more kind of grungy vibe, I think, wouldn't it? So let's just come down, no grid, just road length and angle with no snap in here. That should give us plenty of space to plop assets, shouldn't it? Lots of fencing in to be had there as well. I wouldn't mind the same going on here as well. So let's have lots more industry up this way. And then that same sort of configuration. I'd actually like to start removing some of the concrete around here as well and have a little bit more kind of dirt and dust, I think. Cool. So that should give us the holding frames to position our assets against. Now let's turn our attention to one of them. Primarily this big corner. So I think in terms of actual asset placements for developing the vibe, generic industry should actually prove more than enough, if not a combination of some warehouses over here as well. So I'll probably say I guess some of this stuff could work. Yeah, I'd probably say maybe the brick stuff could work. There's definitely like no modern factory complexes around here. Everything's made out of like corrugated iron and brick. There's no like serious kind of industrial infrastructure, if you like. So I'd like to stick to that vibe. So kind of the brick and the corrugated iron looking buildings, I think, is what I'm most interested in here. Of course, Thessia at the minute, just because of the way we built the city, it just has very little industrial demand naturally, just because we've been plopping a lot of residential and whatnot. More rundown grocery stuff, isn't it? Which, to be fair, probably does have a place in Broker, doesn't it? Especially these older style buildings here, like the Brothers Grocery and whatnot. There's a Coles over here as well. Would you find a Coles in a place like Broker? I'm not sure if they're maybe a little more in the city. Lots of people using the train as well. Always nice to see, isn't it? Arriving from the Valkyrie, which came from CBD, which is wonderful. Yeah, so yeah, anyway, back to my original point. We haven't converted anything currently into commercial with Rico, so that is always an option. But once we have our buildings down, and of course, Service Painter is always our fair maiden, isn't it? So let's have these here. And pretty much no concrete left around here. Editing Egg will hopefully be leaving up some Google Earth shots for us at this point, where we can just see. I'm surprised the Google car even went down some of these streets, to be honest, because it is very much just dirt, dust, and sand. There's no kind of significant concrete infrastructure around here. You see little dips in the land there as well, so let's just terraform those back up. So that's alright, I think. There's obviously a ton of prop work out here to do, which we'll get involved in a second as well. And then let's find ourselves our favourite fence. Now for this I imagine chain link is going to be the good vibe, but then again, having just remembered we do have these metal prop fences. I have the corrugated iron, and I believe a little bit of barbed wire on top there as well. I think that for me is the one. We'll have that go across to the side. And then that can just box in this particular yard, of which will be made up of crates, scrap cars. I think we actually have a scrap collection on the workshop actually. Let's have a little check here. Yeah. This whole scraps are there, that's the perfect one, isn't it? So a little sort of car processing centre here. This would be a great sign to have the Lombax auto and salvage up here, wouldn't it? And then let's kind of embellish that whole vibe there with a little bit of undergrowth, shall we? Something a little bit. Actually, no, let's go for workshop stuff because we want kind of dry vibes here. We actually reckon a little hit Farthesia dry belt here if we could increase the strength. Will probably give us just a little random collection of flowers that we can then place in. So long grasses, kind of tufty little grass sprites if we can find them. Maybe some brighter flowers, and then rocks as well. I think maybe something slightly smaller if we can afford it. Yeah, something like that. Just so then on the approach of the drive-through broker, rather. Oh, I love that train going across in the back there. So there you go. That's a spice sample. That's the episode done, isn't it? That's all we need to do. Absolutely perfect. Love the train going past there. So you can generally see how this will start to form up, right? So auto and salvage as you're driving past here. And then these little industrial units just visible as well. But that's really pretty much what we want to do with all of the area kind of running down here. I wouldn't mind also trying that with some warehouses as well. I bet that might work quite nicely. Then again, factories too. I think all the factories are just going to be a little bit too big. Yeah, it's just too modern, you know. It's like this thing's made out of glass and sheet metal and some very fancy corrugated orange metal as well. So it's probably a little bit too much for me here. This is definitely like local industry here. There's definitely no kind of major factory chains. I reckon we can just have that there, can we? How does the surface painter interact with the concrete floor here? It doesn't affect it, that's fine. But we can paint all that up. And then just a warehouse with some props in it, which I think for broker, I think just commercial zone goods is probably most needed, I think. There's a need for anything else. But then again, we don't have a factory by the pit, do we? We do, which is actually low on resources. So if anything, we might be able to store some more metal. I don't know why you're whinging there. You do have quite a bit of metal stored here, plus 2 rotary kilns, also pumping it out. Delivery, are you going to drop it off? No, it's all just going to storage. Or maybe they will drop it off at some point, but with that in mind then, my original point being, let's store something for a local factory, and we'll have metal here instead. Cool. And then let's also complete that fence there as well. We don't mind also having this like a little walkthrough, but to not totally fence everything off. But let's give this some of this older looking commercial here. Oh yeah, industry rather. And give this kind of a standalone building. Let's sort of play with the angle here. Some expanded prop work around that, and then I can even see as well jumping into the street view around this sort of part of Australia. It does actually move between corrugated iron and chain link fencing, so I'd love to represent that as well if possible. But just to give this building here kind of a natural boundary of where the land it operates on would be. And then let's bring that chain link fencing up to the edge of our factory, which is an extra one there, that should do. Cool, so that looks pretty cool if I do say so myself. Like the way that's starting to form up. And just a simple process now of repeating that design as it moves down the main road. I'd love to get a drive-by. We can spot someone leaving broker any minute now, I'm sure. As I say this is the worst town, literally everyone is going to it. Are we going to get really? Is no one going to leave the town this way or come off this way? There we go. God, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. Let's enjoy the first person drive past broker, shall we? We should really do a first person drive of the roads through Thessia as well, shouldn't we? We haven't done that yet. There we go. Please don't turn left. There we go. We can see the scrap here, salvage, and the raw iron fencing with the barbed wire. And then you kind of glimpse into kind of grotty, muddy local industry. And then the chain link fence takes back over. And then you can see much more fencing. Nice little layer there with a train line too, isn't there? Yes, please. Everybody's even coming to work as well. Very nice. Cool. So I'm really happy with the aesthetic there. That's definitely one of the most important things to build for me. Although the game does not like exiting out of that first person camera mode. I think we're okay now. So I'm really happy with how this is turning out, to be fair. Just lots of prop work to do during that detail town. That feel isn't too far away now. We did also mention a high school, didn't we? Which I think we might do in another area of the city. So I really want this bit of town to start falling away now. We are moving back into kind of isolated rural vibes here, so I don't really want a town right next door to it, let alone a big high school campus. So I think we'll save the high school maybe for over here, actually, maybe opposite the elementary school near where we've got the high density in the main street. Or even have it over here, actually, maybe by the beach would be a good spot for a high school. Maybe we can get involved in that on a stream, maybe. Not sure. Either way. Let's move into that time lapse now. I've got a lot of work to do. I want to complete the school campus with fence and props. Get a load of houses plopped here. We'll just use our classic collection of single-story homes over here, I think. Lots of King Leno stuff will always go nicely. And then repeat what we've done here with fencing, industrial units, and a lot of prop work during the detail and time-lapse to help tie what I want to be a very dusty, sandy, industrial introduction to Broker. And let's see if we can do some fun things working under this rail bridge as well. That should be quite a lot of fun, shouldn't it? I think this kind of raw iron really gives its own vibe, doesn't it? A lot more industrial. And the train should have a really cool drive along here as well, shouldn't it? Driving over all these scrap yards eventually. That should be a lot of fun. But either way, let's move into detailing the west side of Broker, and then we'll be right back.
I just need one night where it just feels right. The stars all align. We do what we like. I just need one night where it just feels right. The stars all align. I just need one night. I just need one night where it just feels right. The stars all align. We do what we like. I just need one night where it just feels right. The stars all align. I just need one night. I just need. I just need. I just need one night where it just feels right. The stars all align. We do what we like.
Alright guys, let's have a little drive through Broker, shall we? So, I will arrive at some nice kind of rural detail here to fade out the town. We've got some of the orange kind of dust decals we have down in the strip mine, the ones that come with these big old piles down here. We've used them before. So now we have just a nice dusty kind of scrapyard. There's a whole bunch of props and recycling centre assets in here. Industry, some like prop and storage work all around the back. Piles of trash and garbage and recycling and just general processing of industry, if you like. And then same over here as well. Vehicles under the bridge with chain link fencing and iron fencing around too. Little bits of prop work in here too. And then also more industry. Nice fence work where it makes sense. And then same over here again too. And it all just flows really nicely. I love doing this with generic industry. Just filling it with scrap yards and little pockets of detail. You can be so clever with the orientation of buildings and extension of already existing props on the ploppable vanilla stuff to create some really just authentic, nice local industry. That is a great introduction to a town. Love driving past this sort of stuff right as you go on. It's just a super nice vista, isn't it? It's very unique. Then we just done some trailer homes over here that have some kind of further garden expansion, and then it just gets a little bit more dense as you get closer into the town centre, where obviously over the years newer housing has been built toward the centre of the town. And then this just spans up toward the ocean, where there's just some general park work here, and then also dropped in a little collection of commercial here, which then does face toward the school over here. We're certainly not done in Broker. I imagine during the next Thessia live stream we'll probably construct a high school over here, otherwise we'll probably spend another episode out here doing something with this big bit of land. I'm not sure what we'll do with this. This might be a nice space for a unit building actually. Maybe something to reference the history of the mine over here. Might be quite a lot of fun. But we'll definitely get the high school on the east side of the town as well. And then over here, our school arrives at some more parking infrastructure with some fleshed out concrete space. And then some also further sort of amalgamated playground stuff with gyms and trees and little additional swing sets and whatnot. Little kind of log climbing ropes here too. In amongst some shrubbery that backs onto the portable classrooms on the other side of the campus. So just a nice little larger sort of school space to develop around here to sort of focus the town centre, and right by the train station here too, which is a good location. And then there's also more parking around the front here as well as it goes down that way. So really cool, really enjoyed putting this together, and the whole suburb just flows very nicely, and we can enjoy the train passing over all the scrapyard now. Perfect timing. There we go, that's a really nice addition into this area, isn't it? See if we can catch this from down on the street level. Oh, that's gonna look cool, isn't it there? Living next to this big industrial with those trains passing by as they head into the town centre. What a wonderful little layer that train line has turned out to be, right? Otherwise, guys, that will do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, likes, comments, and shares below always go a long way. And if you would like a little bit more egg in your diet, links down to Patreon and Instant Gaming down below if you want to help support the channel. Otherwise, really fun vibe putting this sort of stuff together. It's always super prop heavy, but ends up looking really nice in the long run, and a really cute kind of completion and design to East Broker. We've probably only got one more episode here, then I think our main attention will turn to completing the new side of the CBD. And then really, I'm not sure what lies beyond Thessia for that. Maybe we might start coming toward the end of Thessia, maybe towards the end of the CBD, because otherwise the islands are starting to fill. And there isn't that much room left for other towns. So I guess we'll see what happens with Thessia after the CBD kind of comes to a completion over the next few episodes. And then maybe we can have a little node diagnosis as well and see exactly how long the city has left. That's more than a year old now as well, by the way. So thank you for your support on Desio if you are making it to the very end of the 50 episodes. Thank you for watching. As always, please enjoy your cinematics, but otherwise I'll shut up and leave it there. Let's thank you all so much indeed for watching. As always, enjoy the rest of your day.